how do you cultivate healthy habits into your life? Watch this video to the end to learn how to get started doing that. Thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video. My name is Mike Veny, and on this channel you will find peace of mind through original mental wellness tips, proven diversity and inclusion strategies, and so much more. If you are new, welcome. I invite you to click that subscribe button and that little alert bell so you can be the first to know when a new video comes out. Coming up shortly, you are going to get to watch an interview between Jane Dye and myself. Jane is a health coach, and I reached out to her to help me help you with your health. The popular topic of 2020 was your health, and I want you to start this year getting healthy so you can be the best version of yourself and prevent sickness. When I talk about mental health, which I usually talk about, I don't say this enough and I should say it more. Mental health is a component of overall health. So it's really important to just focus on health in your life. Jane and I met years ago in a previous lifetime. I was a drummer and drum teacher full-time, and I had the honor of teaching her son, Connor, drum lessons. I really miss those days. So I reached out to her and we got on Zoom, and here is our interview. Hi, Jane. Welcome back.
Mike, it's great to be back.
Thank you for being here. We are going to be talking about habits because it's a new year and everyone's got new resolutions. Nobody wants to think about 2020. We want to forget about that year, but we're looking to develop some new habits. And I know for me, habits have been really important. So how do we go about healthy habits, and what are some of the ones we should be doing every day this year?
Okay, well, the first thing is the approach. So the approach is that big issues require little changes, and little changes take care of big issues. Okay, lots of times we just want to do too much too soon. So we start with small things that when we ask them of ourselves, we're like, is this like a no-brainer? Can I do this? And the answer is usually yes. That's a place to start. So the first place, as we I think discussed in an earlier conversation, was about water. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we're hydrated. 75% of people are generally dehydrated. So really important to have adequate hydration, especially because caffeinated beverages and alcoholic beverages really make it harder. Also, eating a lot of processed foods, which have high sodium content, that plays into it as well. So it's really just could be something as simple as leaving a glass of water out in the morning for wherever you head to first, and just enjoying that glass of water. It could be plain, it could be cold, it could be hot, it could have lemon, whatever calls to you, but just to start that day with a glass of water. We could be done at that point, and we will have already established an amazing habit. The other thing we can do with water throughout the day, sometimes we're feeling hungry, sometimes we're just thirsty. So maybe have that glass of water before you have your meal. Good news is that will also help you digest your food better. So it's a really easy way. Now, does it always have to be? People say to me, oh, I just can't drink another glass of water. It's too plain. Go to herbal tea, right? Go to unsweetened tea. It has a little caffeine, but you can do that too. I'm here in the South. It's a big issue about giving up your sweet tea for your unsweetened tea. But a lot of people do, or they find a way. So the teas work. You can do spa waters. You can add cucumber and lemon and little orange slices, things that make it feel a little more exotic,
Yeah.
And you can add, I use bitters. It's a lovely way to change water up. So first of all, most nutrition.
Well, I just want to share, I actually do have a water habit.
Yeah.
And my water habit has been for years now, getting a glass of water first thing in the morning. I like cold water first thing in the morning. I usually put lemon in it. And when I don't have it, it actually negatively affects my morning somehow. And just for the record, I'm a person that used to have this fantasy about this like machine in the ceiling in the bedroom, basically bringing coffee to me, like as I'm in bed, and then they invented the Keurig machine. But the idea is that, I still enjoy my coffee in the morning, but there's something about hydrating, because I guess when you
sleep, you do lose some water. That
Mhm.
has been great. And even when I travel, like in hotels, I make it a point to get some bottled water from the front desk or whatever, put it in a refrigerator so I can drink it in the morning. But it's a very good habit. Thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And can you give us some
Sure.
others?
There's plenty. So what's really important is to eat a plant-based whole foods diet. So, and consume less processed and sugary foods. Because what we really want to have here is nourishing high energy foods, foods that make us feel great in our bodies, lasting energy, clear thinking, and great digestion. So it really is having a plant slant. So you look about where you can include fruits and vegetables in your diet. You want to have maybe 50% raw, and you can have 50% cooked.
Mm,
And you know, the fact is that if it's something new to you, you've never tried before, it takes about like 3 times for adults and children to actually taste a food and decide whether they
mm,
like it. So it's really about, you know, seeing what seasonal is always best because it's usually freshest, it has the greatest. So like to me, a food market or like a farmer's market is like, I'm like a kid in a candy store because you can look around and you can see all the beautiful colors and all the different fruits and vegetables. And I work with a lot of men, and sometimes they'll say to me, "Well, I don't cook." I said, "But do you assemble?" Because I
mm.
can help people just assemble food. You can include these in. I'm a wife and a mother, and sometimes I've had to kind of make some creative dishes because people didn't think they liked certain foods until I created them in a way. I'll give a great example. So a lot of people, when I grew up, things like Brussels sprouts and all were not too appealing. See the face? Not too appealing because they were really sour. So if you take a Brussels sprout and you lightly toss it, say in olive oil, and you put it in the oven and you roast it, it caramelizes. So it gets sweeter and it's still a little bite to it, but it's got these wonderful soft edges. So maybe Brussels sprouts isn't your thing. I had a client, he was like, not doing that. That's fine. We move on to something else. It could be cauliflower, it could be broccoli, it could be sweet potatoes and you know, beets and things of that sort. So we try to find those nutrient dense foods that you like. And we play with food. We try things that you can have so you can find some new things that make it exciting to incorporate those foods in your diet.
I have a question. I have a question because it's coming up for me. So I am one of those people that, I mean, even though I'm not traveling on planes as much as I used to, I'm still traveling in the car and going different places. And sometimes I'm just stuck in a strip mall and there's Burger King, um, McDonald's, and my favorite Taco Bell. And so, let me just ask you in terms of like developing healthy habits this year,
Mhm.
what's something I could do in those moments to make a healthier choice, healthier than the Big Mac?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. So part of doing anything in life is preparing, right? So one of the things I did, especially when I was doing a lot of travels, I would carry some healthy food with me. And what kind of foods can you carry that are great? There are some wonderful seed bars and things of that sort, low in sugar, high in protein, high in fiber. They're going to fill you up. Fat is not our enemy. We can have some good fats. We want to stay away from a lot of the commercial fats, but we can have, there's some great bars, things I share with clients. But also, I'm with big portable citrus. I love clementines and tangerines and things like that that are easy to throw in your bag and go with you. Like you said earlier, keeping some water with you as well. Those kinds of things are really helpful. But if we're stuck in those places, we look at the menu and we look to find what has the most produce. Most of those places sell, they may not be the most exciting salads, but they sell a salad or they offer sides that are not only just French fries. So the thing is looking at, you know, where is the nutritional density in a food? And the other thing is if you do happen to eat those foods, and later on, what can you add in that
Mm,
can really help balance out that day? So maybe later you're somewhere else and you have the opportunity to eat something that's fresh and more wholesome. But the real idea is just seeing what it is that's there to discover there might be something new. And there might be something else in the food court, maybe that you never looked at before because it was never in your field of vision. So even at Taco Bell, I think you can get a salad, you know, and maybe you skip the cheesy tortilla shell or whatever it is, you know, and you go towards something, beans and rice. One of the healthiest things that they eat around the world that
Yeah.
we as Americans don't necessarily engage in as much. So there's always those kind of choices. But as a client, if you had that experience, we would find out what you uniquely liked, and we could even research what you can do. I have a whole list of places you can go in different airports around the country that have healthier food alternatives. Just people sometimes don't know where they are, and depending upon if you're changing flights, how much time you have. But the key really is to always have something with you that you
Always.
really like, so that in that moment you could have that. So when you get to that location, you're not a crazed person who will eat almost anything in sight because your hunger has got you to a point where decision making can't be made anymore.
I love that. Always having something on you.
Yeah.
That's a very simple one. And I have to be honest with you. I don't like my vegetables, but you're
Mhm,
making me start to think about them. Like I'm
mhm.
actually picturing ones I might want to eat. So thank you so much. This was really, really helpful. Really, really helpful. And I want to ask you if people want to learn more about working with you on their healthy habits this year, where can they learn more about you?
They can go right to my website. It's actually my name, so it's janekdye.com. And there you can learn more about me. There are success stories, recipes, and a scheduling page. So you can just fill that out and we can go ahead and have a free initial consultation. We get to know each other a little bit better. And people have the opportunity to see what health coaching is about and get an insight or an aha about why they're stuck and how to get out of that rut.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video, Jane.
Thanks, Mike. Looking forward to it.
Now, just to make sure that you stick to your healthy habits, I encourage you to reach out to Jane directly for a free consultation. I put a link to her website in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, please click that like button and share it with your friends. In the next video, we're going to be talking about a health coach for weight loss accountability. I'll see you in the next video.